guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and we are working on the free T again. So recently you saw Ben and I were able to kind of get the exhaust design kind of finalized. Ben got one side all tacked up. He's gonna take that home and work on fixturing it and kind of finish welding it, and he's gonna replicate those parts. And while he's doing that and we're not doing exhaust work, I figured I would work on one of the next big things visually for the car to get the kind of final look of the car, and that is the windshield setup. So I've been debating a windshield on this thing since almost day one on the project. I was really against even putting a windshield on it in the early episodes or talks of this car, but realistically we're going to be driving this car in the street, even though we want to maybe take it to some different fun nostalgia race events. Really, in the end of the day, it's going to probably do most of its time driving it on the street because I like to drive my stuff. So we need to put a windshield on it, and I'm trying to kind of find something that looks period correct, flows, and isn't me building a whole entire windshield from scratch. So what I've been working with is a lot of the old photos guys were taking the halves of original Model T windshields, and they were taking one half and bolting it to the car, and that was like a factory chopped windshield when you pulled the top half off. Looks pretty cool. The other thing they would do is they kind of like pie cut or modify the stanchions and lean the windshield back, which definitely the car needs the windshield leaned back. But sometimes when they did that, it just was like an abrupt, like 45 angle in the stanchion, and it looked a little, didn't look pleasing to the eye. Now I understand back in the 40s, when all you had was a torch and a hacksaw, that's what worked. I'm trying to be a little more thoughtful and still give respect to the tradition of how these cars were built, but I think I'm going to try and make a stanchion or modify the original stanchion to make it flow a little bit better so it doesn't just look like a jagged cut in it. What I haven't decided yet, and we need to first start this video, is test fit the top half and the bottom half and top half of the windshield to figure out which portion I want to use. Nice thing about the top half is it has this little adjustable section where you can lean it back by using that. Nice thing with the bottom half is, though, is that it has the stanchions already bolted to it, and it's probably a little easier to mate it up to the body of the car, but I don't know until we bolt it on. So we're gonna get some ideas for bolting this on, hold a couple things up, and then we will kind of make a game plan. Hell yeah, that looks way better. Alright, so this is definitely the clear winner. It just looks way cooler. The way it rounds at the top kind of actually matches the way it rounds in the back of the body. So I think it's it just flows a lot nicer, so I think this is the one we're going to go with, which is the top half. So all of this time I kept thinking I was going to be using the bottom half, but as soon as we just tried the top half, it was like, oh my god, why did I not think of that in the beginning? So the big problem we're going to have, and I took a photo of it, is the windshield frames on these T's, the way they made them with the stanchions, they're made to be a lot wider than the cowl of the car. So it looks kind of silly when you look at it from the front. You really start restyling a car. It looks pretty funny. So what I'm going to have to do just to start off with is get this old glass out of here, and I'm going to have to narrow the windshield frame, and then from there I think I'm going to build a set of stanchions from scratch. Great, and that's going to be a lot of work, but I think that's the only way I'm going to get something that's going to flow with the body and is going to fit and look correct when it's done. So we'll get this old glass out, we'll work on cutting the windshield frame down so it's the same width as the cowl, and then we can go from there. All right, so we got the windshield set in place, and I'm pretty happy with it. We ended up narrowing it about 3 inches, and what that did is it got the windshield just inside of the outer edge of the cowl. And what that will allow me to do is build stanchions that will kind of just flow out around the cowl, and everything will kind of flow and look nice. The thing that's pretty cool is when we lean the windshield back, it has almost the same angle as the back of the body here, and we found that the corners here are almost the same exact shape as the cowl, so everything just looks right. You know, that's why when we put this windshield frame on there, it looked way better than the bottom half that was originally on there. So I can work on making stanchions next time. Other cool thing is we are playing with the seating position. So this is basically about where the seating position is going to be. Much more comfortable. I feel more relaxed. I think we're going to have to use a smaller steering wheel. This big sprint car wheel is going to be almost as tall as the windshield, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to maybe look for one of the smaller diameter versions of these old Bell wheels, maybe one that's from a midget that is a little bit smaller, and we'll have to work on obviously the angle of the steering box, which is kind of probably do that for a little further on as we're adjusting stuff. This is just what happens as I was building the car. Things are coming together and they need to be tweaked and changed. But for the windshield, I think it looks kick-ass. It's awesome. It fits the look of the car. It looks sporty, and I think it will flow really, really well. So I just have to do a little bit of finish welding, blending it all in and flattening it out, make sure everything's good, and then we can start working on our stanchions next time. So that's all I have for this one. Quick little update. As always, we do videos on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Make sure you click the subscribe button and drop me a comment down below. What do you think of the new windshield frame? Thanks, guys. See you later.